Friends, and welcome to Music City Kids. My name is Tamara with Love in a Big World, and I'm so glad that you're spending some time with us today. We're going to be talking about responsibility, and responsibility is taking charge of your own words and actions. Do you know that there are some things that nobody else can do for you? Yeah, we've got to understand that we cannot expect anyone else to do what only we can do for ourselves. That's part of responsibility. So to get us started today, we have something special from Family Fit Mom. So stand on up and get moving.
Hey Music City Kids, Family Fit Mom here. Today I'm going to show you a few exercises you can do to kind of get your blood flowing and get that energy going. I know that some of you are doing virtual learning, so maybe in between classes you need a little pick-me-up. So I'm going to show you 2 exercises that I like to do to kind of get my blood flowing and get my energy going again. So one of them is called a super jack. For a super jack, you're going to do 2 jumping jacks, and then you're going to jump up in the air and do a super jack. So again, it's 2 jumping jacks, and then that super jack is going to get that blood flowing. It's just a little something extra to get your body moving each day. And then another one I really like to do, super simple, I'm sure you've done it before, high knees, but sprint high knees. So we're going to get your legs up, running in place, and then a quick sprint first. And then you can slow it down again, and then another quick burst of speed. So those are just 2 exercises you can do in between breaks in class or different things if you need something just to get your energy up and to wake you up and get you moving again. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much, Family Fit Mom. Next, we've got some science with Janet from Janet's Planet.
Welcome to Janet's Planet, where we're traveling at the speed of thought. And today I am super excited to introduce you to Jack and Draka. How's it going, Jack?
Awesome. I can't wait to be on the show.
Initially, your reasoning behind starting this experiment was very personal.
Yeah, definitely. I actually became interested in pancreatic cancer because a close family friend who was actually like an uncle to me passed away from pancreatic cancer when I was 13. And upon further research, I found that 85% of all cases of pancreatic cancer are diagnosed late, when someone has less than a 2% chance of survival. And this is because we really have no current way of diagnosing the cancer in the earliest stages or having a screening technique to screen the general population for the cancer. So essentially what my work was creating a simple dipstick test to detect the cancer in the earliest stages.
Do you believe that that idea that came to you as you're rather doodling in biology class came to you via inspiration?
It was kind of just like pure luck, like being in the right place at the right time, and combined kind of with like imagination and a bit of creativity. However, I think that a lot of initial scientific ideas don't have too much science in them. They're just wild ideas that people dream up and see if they can make them become a reality.
Well, you got a lot of no's before you even got a mild yes, correct?
199 rejections of my procedure, and at this point I was really starting to doubt my procedure because I could take no from my biology teacher, I could take no from my parents, but 199 professors with like PhDs and degrees, I was getting really nervous because these people actually knew what they were talking about, and I'm like, well, if the professionals don't think it's right, then maybe I'm not onto something.
Well, you finally stuck it out for the one guy who kind of mildly said, okay, you've been persistent.
Definitely. Dr. Anirban Maitra of Johns Hopkins University, he was so awesome, and he guided me through the lab because it was my very first time in like a professional setting lab. Usually I just tinker in my basement.
Was there a sense of giving up, or there was like, no, I get to try something else?
For me, it's just like science is just a lot of hard work with a bit of creativity added in. One thing that really drives my research was something my lab mentor really touched on, is that it's all about who you're impacting in science, because you always never forget who your target audience is and who you're impacting. So for me, it was 100 people die of pancreatic cancer every day. So I think whenever I go into the lab, how am I going to help save 100 lives today?
I wish you only the best. Thanks again, Jack. Bye-bye. Remember, inspiration can lead to innovation. Logic can take you from point A to point B, but imagination can take you everywhere. Let your mind revolve around this thought. Whatever you can think, dream, or imagine today just might be great science tomorrow. And that's the view from Janet's planet.
Thank you, Janet. And Jack, thank you for owning that experiment and persevering regardless of the no's that you received. You took responsibility for that dream that was in your heart, and that made all the difference for so many patients. You're amazing. All right, next we've got Josh Mundy with some entrepreneurship tips. And I think his son Zion is with him today. Take a look.
Thanks, Tamara. I am Joshua Mundy here for another episode of Entrepreneurship, MusiCity Kids. And I have my main man with me,
Zion.
Yes, and last week we showed you that we were going to start a lemonade stand. I'm not sure what you all are starting, but we're in the process of getting all your materials together to launch that business. So last week we showed you fresh lemons, water, and a jug, but we made some adjustments this week. So I went to the store and picked up this Country Time lemonade mix, which cost us about $2.50, and I picked up some cups, which cost us another $2. So our cost is still the same at $4.50. So we're gonna show you our process to make this lemonade and start selling the lemonade. Stay tuned. Now Zion is opening up the lemonade. He's pouring it in, making sure we use all of our ingredients. Now we're filling it up with water. From there, we have to stir the water and our ingredients together to make our lemonade mix. Stir it good, Zion. Now it wouldn't be right without a taste test. How is it, Zion?
Good.
Awesome. You all give it up for Zion. Didn't he do an amazing job? So we mixed all of our ingredients together and we were able to make 32 cups of lemonade. Now me and Zion discussed that we're gonna sell our lemonade for $1. Now this is the math problem that I want you all to work on for next week's episode. So we spent $4.50 on all our products, which was our lemonade mix and our cups. And we were able to make from that 32 cups of lemonade. So the question is, how much money will we make when we sell all of our lemonade? That is the question. So next week, we'll start marketing our business and we'll be ready for business. Back to you, Tamara.
Suddenly the clouds appear to take away your joy. And when your enemies for you come to destroy, the trouble don't last always, just for a time. And this too will pass, though the rain falls now, there will be a sunny day. Even if the road is rough, there will be another way. Bad times will slowly fade away, it will pass. If you're feeling down and out is on the way, when you see it through, there'll be a brand new day. The trouble don't last always, just for a time, and this too will pass. Even though the rain falls now, there will be a sunny day. Even if the road is rough, there will be another way. Bad times will slowly fade away. It will pass. And this too, and this too, and this too will pass. Even when there's cloudy skies, the light will lead you through. I found my sunshine, I know that you will too. The trouble don't last always, just for a time. And this too will pass. Bad times will pass. And this too will pass. Bad times will pass. And this too, and this too, and this too will pass.
Thanks, Jerami. That was beautiful. And such a great reminder to keep our attitudes in check even through the darkest of days, because this too shall pass. And we will come through on the other side stronger than ever before. And as you may remember, that's what we're all about here at Music City Kids, helping you grow stronger in body, mind, and spirit, because we believe in you. Next up is Sophia with By Kids for Kids.
My name is Sophia, and today I will be making origami. Origami is the Japanese word for folding paper, and I'll be showing you how to fold a paper crane. There's an old Japanese legend that says if you fold 1,000 paper cranes, you can make a wish and it'll come true. So let's get started. First, take a square piece of paper, fold it in half, crease it, unfold, then do the same thing to the other side. Once you're done, fold it diagonally now, crease it, unfold, then do the same thing to the other side. Now your piece of paper should look a little like a tent. Now take these perpendicular lines, fold inward, and now you should have a square shape. Take one of the corners of the square that we now have, fold inwards, crease, and it should look like this. Do the same thing to the rest of this side and the other side, so that your paper looks like a kite. Now unfold these creases that we just made and take this piece right here, pull it up. So now we have a pocket. Use the creases that we just made, fold inwards, fold down, then up to create a bigger diamond. Do the same thing to the other side, and your paper should look like this. These pieces right here will be our wings, but first we have to make the legs and the head. First, flatten this out, fold in this piece of paper at an angle so that it looks like this. Do the same thing to the other side, but this time we're going to take this top piece using the same technique, fold in, crease, and we have our head. One final touch, curl the wings so that they're in a flying position, and hold the crane at the base of the neck, pull the tail, and now it can fly. Thank you.
Sophia, and thanks to our friends who are joining us. It's good to see you, Sally and Max. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Next, I want to encourage you with a special book. You know, I've always got something for you to read. And this is very important, especially given the events that are happening in our world. Find out more about Frederick Douglass in this picture book of Frederick Douglass by David A. Adler. Frederick Douglass was a phenomenal human being who led the anti-slavery movement way back in the day. When he was a slave, he recognized that he had a choice, even in those traumatic times. And he learned to read. He took charge of his words and actions and decided to do something different with his life. And he's the inspiration for what we're talking about today, that we can't expect anyone else to do for us what only we can do for ourselves. His life is a testimony to his words because he lived what he said. So as you're reading this story, either that you get from the library or check out on audible.com, I want you to figure out, how did Frederick Douglass learn to read? How did Frederick Douglass gain his freedom? And then think about yourself. Who owns what you do and what you say? And how? Think about the difference that you can make in this world when you take responsibility for your own words and actions. We all need this reminder, especially today. All right, next is Dr. Don with some health tips for us.
Hey, MusiCity kids, Dr. Don here with my friend Chuck, and I've got a little tip for you today. Everybody's wearing masks these days, but we want to make sure that you're doing it well, doing it properly, and it can actually, some of these masks can irritate the skin, and there's a couple of things that we can do to make sure that these masks are more effective as well as more comfortable, and they don't irritate the skin. Number one, drink your water, people. Stay hydrated. We know this, right? Drinking water helps moisturize the skin. We also want to make sure you're using a soft fabric. So if you're buying a mask, you can make sure that the outer fabric can be whatever, but look for a mask that has a softer fabric, like cotton or even silk, on the inside of the mask where it doesn't irritate the skin. And before wearing a mask, you want to make sure that you moisturize the skin. So you can use something, a moisturizer of some type to moisturize the skin, so it's not as irritating on there. And along with that, ladies, some ladies may have problems with makeup. And the makeup, when wearing a mask, the makeup can actually get pushed down into the pores, and that's something that we don't want to see because it can irritate the skin that way. So be mindful of that. Maybe use a makeup product that isn't quite as cakey on the skin, and that might help prevent some of the irritation of the skin from those masks. Also, this is my number one pet peeve: wash your mask. The skin cells and microbes from your skin, they get stuck to those masks, and you want to make sure you wash them after your use. Dry them, hand wash them. You don't put them in the washing machine per se, but you do want to at least hand wash them with some soap and let them dry, and have another mask to wear in the meantime so you can change up, because you want to make sure the masks are clean. That is a big deal. So just a little tip for today, and just so it's not irritating your skin. The mask, gonna wear a mask, you want to moisturize the skin, make sure you're drinking water, moisturize on top, watch the makeup, may be a problem, but just make sure to wash the masks and have a spare. This is the biggest thing you can do, and guys, stay healthy. Back to you.
Thanks, Dr. Don. I've got my water. I try to drink 2 of these a day at least. Helps me stay hydrated. And I love those practical tips for how we can wear our masks, because this is new for all of us. Especially remember, wash your mask, have a spare. These are actions that only you can take for yourself. That's part of responsibility. And this responsibility that we have in our new world is actually another way that we can show we care for our fellow human beings. So please wear your mask. All right, next, something special from Miss Lawanna.
Well, hey everybody, it's Miss Lawanna again. I'm here with another great art project, and we're going to jump right into it. And today's art project, I was inspired by my desire to have a pet. Yes, Miss Lawanna would like to own a pet. Particularly, I'd like to have a dog. But you know, having a pet and caring for a pet comes with a lot of responsibility. And I have to think about whether or not I'm ready to be responsible for a pet. Because if I have a dog, that means I have responsibilities. I have to keep him fed. I have to keep him clean. I have to make sure he doesn't make little messes around the house. And if he does, it's my responsibility to clean it up. I have to take him on walks, all sorts of things. I even have to take him to the doctor if he gets sick. So I really need to think about whether or not I'm ready for that responsibility. Maybe you want a pet too, or maybe there's something that you've been asking your parents for, but they're not sure if you're ready for the responsibility. Well, in the meantime, what I'm gonna do and what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna show you a little craft, and this is gonna be our little pretend pet until maybe we decide if we're ready for the responsibility of a real pet. So I've got some different types of paper plates here. That's just your regular paper plate, and you can turn it over on the back to use the white side. And also I had some of these fancy party plates from a party I had a few years ago. Because my hand is a little big, I'm gonna use this plate instead, but I'm sure you have some paper plates around the house. Ask Mom if you can have one, and you use this one. I think your hand will fit well on this one. I've also got some white paint, some blue paint, and I've got red paint, and I've got a little purple paint. So let's see what we can get into here. I think you're gonna like this one. All right, mixing my blue and white paint, I'm going to paint the bottom half of my paper plate. Then I'm painting my hand red, and can you guess what I'm about to do? Yes, I'm going to make a fish with my hand. Filling in some gaps, giving it some plants in the water down there. I think he needs a little friend, so I'm gonna make him a little purple friend. I think I'll name them Tim and Jim, and these are my pretend pets until I'm ready for the responsibility of a real pet. Back to you, Tamara.
That's so much fun, Lawanna, and what a great option. You can create a pet until you're ready to own one of your own. Yeah. So thanks for joining us today for MusiCity Kids. Again, we're here to help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. I want you to remember our friend Frederick Douglass and how he is a model of responsibility, how there are some things only we can do for ourselves. Nobody else can do them for us. We have to take charge of our words and actions. And why is this so important for us to remember? Well, in the words of Frederick Douglass, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. And we're all about helping you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on MusiCity Kids.